Welcome to our BCD Travel Talk. Today, we'll tell you more about the fastest way to book your next business trip. We're talking, of course, about booking through an online booking tool. Together with my guest, Diederik Banken, our Managing Director for BCD Travel in the Benelux, we'll deep dive into the advantages of booking through an online booking tool for both travel managers and travelers. Also, we'll have a look at the financial benefits and how, as a travel manager, you can change the attitude of your travelers towards using an online booking tool and boost their adoption rate. But first, I'd like to welcome our guest speaker today, Diederik Banken, Managing Director for BCD Travel in the Benelux. Thank you, Diederik, for being with us here today.
Hi Jelle, hi everyone. Nice to be here. Good to have this talk because you're right that making a reservation by yourself in an online booking tool is really the place to be and to go at the moment. And actually, Jelle, you forgot about one very important group. Those are the travel arrangers. So it is definitely a benefit for travelers. It is definitely a benefit for the travel manager or the organization, but it is a very big benefit also for the travel arranger.
Well, Diederik, to dive right in, I think it's pretty safe that we can say that business travel has finally returned, and how. I mean, do you already notice a difference in the booking behaviors when we look at the bookings pre-pandemic and post-pandemic?
Well, first of all, we see a lot of business being back now. It is extremely busy. And we also see some changes in the pattern. Earlier in the year, we saw a lot of information requests. At that time, there were still COVID restrictions. They were different per country. It was quite difficult to make reservations and to find your way. And a lot of our clients fortunately found their way to our COVID-19 information hub, which was used big time, and all of the information you needed was there, and people could easily find that. But now, and a few months later, those COVID restrictions were lifted or changed or completely taken away, and traveling became much easier again. That's of course also what we like to see, and that's also good for our clients. So and at the same time, we saw that a lot of our reservations were more made online. So people were using their online booking tools a lot more than they were doing before. And at the moment, we have the highest online adoption level ever. It is even higher than the pre-pandemic levels. So yeah, those tools are there. They work very good. New features are added all the time, and many of our clients are using them.
And Diederik, when I hear you mention online booking, can you please elaborate a bit for our viewers what you exactly mean with online booking?
When we speak about online booking, you should actually talk about self-booking, because what it is that a traveler or a travel arranger make a travel reservation themselves in an online booking tool. So they do not need to call us, or they do not need to send an email to us. They make the reservation themselves in a tool. Such a tool we call an online booking tool, or an OBT. And when we then speak about the online adoption level, we talk about the percentage of all of the reservations which is made through that online booking tool versus the total number of reservations. And that's what I mentioned before. That online adoption we see with our clients is higher than it has ever been.
I can imagine that some of our clients might be watching this and thinking, hey, online booking tool, I haven't got that yet. Can you maybe explain how does it work for them? Is this something that they need a piece of software they need to purchase? Do they get a subscription? Or is this something that we can help them with as well?
Yeah, definitely. It is web-based, so you don't need to install difficult software. It is web-based, and you as a company or organization, you can purchase that yourself, but you can also purchase that through BCD. And most of our clients purchase the online booking tool through us. And if we as BCD deliver this, then we also take the full responsibility on that online booking tool, because you want to make sure that it's maintained, that the updates and upgrades which are needed from time to time are done, And next to all of that, we also then deliver the first line support. So if a traveler or a travel arranger has a question or has a problem or needs support, we also deliver that support to our clients.
And in general, when we have clients using these OBTs, what's their attitude, you'd say, in general, towards the tool and towards the technological advancement, and also from the traveler's perspective?
If you see those high online adoption levels that we see now, the only conclusion can be that it is perceived very positive, but there is still a lot of room to use those tools even more. So there are still a lot of advantages and benefits that are not yet taken. And that's what we are discussing with our clients as well. Try to boost that online adoption because it will give you other benefits as well. The first one is, for instance, efficiency. If you want to plan your trip, and if you need to look up flights, accommodation possibilities, it is super easy. If you can do that yourself at the time you want, you can do that 24 hours per day in that online booking tool. It's easy to do. You immediately know your fares, what's the cost, your availability. You can discuss it with your traveler, for instance. Does this work for you, or do you want a later flight or an earlier train? Whatever it is. So it's very efficient if you use those tools.
We mentioned it briefly in the introduction as well. There are also some financial advantages of online booking versus traditional offline bookings. And I know that a lot of travel managers are watching this, probably keeping their bottom line in mind. So, can you tell us a bit more about those financial advantages and how an online booking tool helps?
Yeah, it can do that in multiple ways. And first of all, the transaction fee. The transaction fee of a booking you make yourself online is much lower than a transaction fee if you call us. Why? If you do part of the work yourself, then we don't need to do that work and we don't need to charge you. So making reservations online brings down the cost you pay to BCD Travel. And another cost advantage is that it seems that every time people use an online booking tool and they book earlier because they don't need to wait for calling us up. They can open up the tool and immediately start searching for options and for fares and availability. And the sooner you book, the lower the fare is that you get. So research and experience shows that if people use online booking tools, they tend to book earlier. And earlier bookings means lower cost. And there's even more, and that's what we call that visual guilt. And what happens is that when you book yourself in the online booking tool, you see all kinds of fares. You see high fares, you see low fares, and travelers or travel arrangers, when they make such a booking, of course, they want to do what's best for their organization. So they will choose the lower fare because if they book the higher fares, that gives them the feeling that they are spending too much of the company's or organization's money. So the fact that they book that lower fare which is presented also brings down the cost.
So a lot of advantages for the company. Does that also translate itself into the general attitude of business travelers towards online booking tools? Because you mentioned online adoption a lot. So how does that relate to the general attitude of business travelers?
Yeah, I already mentioned that we see a lot of growth in the online adoption. And I think part of that is coming from the fact that during the pandemic, all kinds of organizations, they installed different types of online solutions for basically everything. If you need a new laptop or if you need a new phone, you need to go to a tool to request that laptop or phone. And if you work in an office and you need office materials or you need other office stuff or even certain services, you also need to go to an online tool and order it there. So what you see is that more and more employees, they are used to the fact that if you want to have stuff done, you need to go to an online tool. And for travel, it basically is exactly the same. You go to such an online tool as well, and you make the reservations there that you need. It works exactly the same. And what is good is that those travel online booking tools, they are in most cases completely integrated in all of the existing tools of a company, which means that your profile is already there. In most cases, you can log in through one click. You don't need to completely enter your password, etc. So this is all so convenient, and people are so much used to it that you see that people don't want to work in a different way anymore. And if you work in such a way, and if you make your reservations yourself online, you also know that you are completely following the travel policy of your organization, because what is in the travel policy is shown in the online booking tool. So you also know that you're doing what's right, and what your company or your organization wants you to do.
I also imagine that there are a lot of travel managers here who are just ticking boxes. I already have an online booking tool available. Is there maybe some tips and tricks that we can share with them as well to get the most out of their online booking tool as well?
Yeah, there are. And first of all, I advise all of our clients to talk to their program manager, because we have a lot of information, we have a lot of experience, we have a lot of case studies which you can look at. But just a few tips. The first thing you can do is look at your staff, and for instance, who is already booking online. Because you will see that some staff are booking online a lot, others are booking less online. So you want to look at your travelers and travel arrangers who already book a lot online. How does that work for them? Why do they like this so much? What are the benefits for them? And if you know that, if you communicate that to your other staff members, then they will have a very good example, like, hey, my colleague books online and it works very well for him or her. Maybe I want to look at that as well. We see with other clients who are doing this, that this will immediately help the online adoption. Another tip which is used a lot is, for instance, you could take two of your top destinations and inform all travelers and all travel arrangers: if you make a reservation to one of these top destinations, you have to do it online. For all of the rest, you can still call BCD Travel or you can still email us, but for those two top destinations, you need to book that yourself in the online booking tool. And if people then are doing that, you will see that they will start booking more, because they are in the tool. They will see how it works. They see how easy it is and how convenient it is to do that. So then they will also start making reservations to other destinations without you even asking to do so. And a little bit in the same area is a tip that we use a lot as well. And that is, for instance, to ask travelers or travel arrangers to make hotel reservations in the online booking tool. That is exactly what they do for their private trips as well. So if you would ask them to start with making hotel reservations in the online tool, then again, they are in the tool, they will see how it works. Automatically, they will also start booking other stuff like flights or car rental in the tool. And all of that are, easy ways to boost the online adoption and to help your travelers or travel arrangers to get convenient with the tool and get familiar with the tool.
And of course, BCD Travel is also always there to help them, I assume, to promote the online booking tool and increase the online adoption rate. Do you have maybe some examples of things that we did with clients in the past?
We have many examples of communication campaigns. So we have a lot of material as well. And for instance, part of those campaigns that are banners and flyers and email templates and even posters for the wall. So we have a lot of material which you can easily use and adapt to make people aware of booking online. It has a lot of, it describes benefits for them. So it is a very positive way to make travelers, travel agents aware. Please book online. It's good for you. It's good for our company. But like I said before, I strongly advise all of our clients to discuss it with their BCD program manager, because we have so much already there. You do not need to invent the wheel again.
Absolutely. And I think it all comes down to traveler engagement, basically. And traveler engagement is a term that we often use. Maybe for our viewers, you can explain a bit more about what traveler engagement, what we specifically mean with that term.
Yeah, definitely. So what we mean with traveler engagement is helping travelers and travel arrangers to make the right decision. We do not believe anymore in telling people what to do. That is no longer what we all should do. So we believe in giving travelers and travel arrangers the right and relevant information at the right time, so that they can make the right decision for their organization. And an example, for instance, is a banner in the online booking tool stating that you would like your traveler to book a certain airline, for instance, to a certain destination. But you only want to see that banner when that traveler or travel arranger is indeed working on a reservation to that destination. And if that banner pops up at the right moment, then your traveler or travel arranger is easily steered towards the right decision. But you don't tell that person what to book. You just guide them in the right direction so that people can make their own decision. They want to do that. They want to do what's right for the company or for your organization. And if they do, yeah, then you have a high compliance to your policy, and you have a high online adoption. But such an advice, such an advice to book a certain airline can also help you to reduce your CO2 emission. Because if you guide your travelers or travel arrangers towards an airline who has a lower CO2 emission on a certain route, yeah, then you have a lot of things covered at the same time. There is a lot we can show, and there is a lot we can talk about here. And again, your BCD travel program manager has all of this information, so please ask him or her to share this and to discuss this.
Excellent. And Diederik, maybe as a last question, as we continue to travel again in the post-pandemic world, are there any final thoughts that you'd like to share with our audience here today?
Yeah, I think the best advice for now is to plan and book your trip well in advance. Fares are increasing at the moment, so the earlier you book, the better the fare will be that you have. And once you've secured your reservation and your fare, you want to prepare your trip in a very thorough way, and also take enough time to travel. I think that's for now the advice I want to give.
Thank you so much, Diederik, for being here together with us today. Thank you for this enlightened talk about the use of an OBT, the advantages. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, and thank you as well.
So, thank you for watching our BCD Travel Talk. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you like the content that we make.